If burnout was just about being overwhelmed, getting more organized would fix it. But thousands of high achieving and successful women are discovering something strange. Their planner is organized, their routine is optimized, and their body is still exhausted. Their mind still runs at night. They wake up tired even after sleeping. So the real question becomes, if organization isn't fixing burnout, then what actually will? A lot of high achieving women assume the solution is better productivity. So you try what most high achievers try. You buy another planner, you color code your calendar, you optimize your morning routine, you try a productivity system you just found on YouTube. And for a little while, it may even feel better. But then something strange happens. Your schedule looks more organized, yet your body still feels tense. Your mind still runs at night like anxiety is beating the hell out of you. You still wake up exhausted, and at some point you start wondering, why does everything still feel like effort? That's because burnout isn't primarily a productivity problem. Burnout is a nervous system problem. You cannot plan your way into feeling safe. And until your nervous system feels safe, no productivity system in the world will actually solve burnout. So if this keeps happening to you, it makes sense. When high achieving women feel overwhelmed, their instinct isn't to slow down. It's to organize, to optimize, to fix the system. And to be clear, efficiency itself isn't bad. In many ways, it helps. But you can have the most organized calendar, the streamlined routines, the perfect schedule, and still feel tense in your body, wired at night, and exhausted in the morning. Because when the nervous system feels pressure, it doesn't always respond with panic. Very often, it responds with control. When life feels overwhelming, the brain tries to create certainty. That's why people start building more systems when they feel stressed. Those tools can absolutely help, but they don't automatically change what's happening deeper in the nervous system. Because the body isn't responding to your schedule. It's responding to perceived threat. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who wakes up at 5:30 a.m. every single morning. They meditate, then exercise, then journal, and all of their day is fully planned. On paper, it looks like the perfect routine, but inside their body, something else is happening. They feel pressure to perform the routine perfectly. If they miss a day, they feel behind. If the routine gets interrupted, they feel anxious. So what was supposed to reduce stress quietly becomes another source of it. This is why some people become extremely productive while still feeling deeply burned out. Productivity can sometimes be masked as dysregulation instead of resolving it. Because the nervous system doesn't measure safety by how efficient your planner is. It measures safety by questions like, do I feel supported? Do I feel capable of handling what's happening? Do I feel like I have space to rest? In other words, your nervous system is constantly asking, do I have the capacity to handle what's happening right now? When the answer is yes, your body stays regulated. You begin to think clearly. You can respond calmly. But when the answer is no, even if your schedule looks perfectly organized, your system shifts into protection mode. That's when you start experiencing racing thoughts at night, tension in your body, irritability, or feeling overwhelmed by the smallest things. Which is why so many high achieving women look like they are functioning extremely well while quietly running on empty. Their lives are organized, their work gets done, but their nervous system never fully settles. And here's the interesting part. When someone begins regulating their nervous system instead of constantly optimizing productivity, their capacity often expands in ways that surprise them. Not because they force themselves to work harder, but because their body finally stops living in constant threat. When your nervous system feels safe, your life starts organizing differently. You begin to think more clearly. You notice better opportunities. You trust your decisions. The version of you who can actually hold the life you desire starts showing up. You still have drive. You still have ambition, but now it's coming from alignment instead of survival. And that's when your entire life begins to shift. Because the real goal isn't eliminating stress completely. The goal is expanding what your body can hold without going into survival mode. Psychologists call this expanding your window of tolerance. The wider that window becomes, the more responsibility, the more opportunity, and the more success your system can handle without feeling overwhelmed. So I'm curious, have you ever improved your organization or productivity systems, but still felt burned out anyway? If that's happened to you, let me know inside the comments. A lot of high achieving women recognize themselves inside of this pattern, but after they understand what's actually happening inside their nervous system. If you're someone who has done all the organizing and still feels exhausted, I made a free guide that explains what's happening inside your nervous system. It also gives you simple practices to help your body move out of survival mode. You can grab it below. And if you want more conversations about burnout, nervous system regulation, and building a meaningful life without constantly running on empty, make sure you subscribe. Because the truth is this: you don't need another productivity system. You need a nervous system that finally feels safe. I'll see you next time.